Loot Bet. Made for live betting.
Don't know how to build a team from scratch or find good teammates? DreamTeam.gg, the ultimate team building platform. Find and connect with new players, coaches and teams. Manage and monetize your team. Get on fast track to advance from novice to amateur and, if desired, to professional gamer. Join DreamTeam.gg today.
It's the quick scope! This is unreal! Anything is possible! Anything is possible! Yuzillo is a monster, Tom!
Way here between NRG and North, we're heading to Mirage, the third map of the series. We've just had two back-to-back stomps from different teams.
Yeah.
Is this a stomp? Is this a close game? I don't know where to align on this one.
I think this is going to be a closer game. I was expecting Overpass to be a bit of a closer game, in all honesty, but NRG just played lights out. So again, good sign. We saw North playing extremely well on Nuke. We saw the same thing from NRG. So if all things add up, if the math is correct, that should make for a really close game on Mirage.
Well, you would hope so. Again, are you gonna? Well, I'll just ask you straight up. Who's your prediction?
I can't change it. I said North.
Yeah.
Yes, like last night, so I can't change that. But I have a weak spot for Energy because it's Stockholm syndrome, right? When you watch enough of North American Pro League, you end up in a situation where you just feel committed to some of these. Like some of these teams bring you joy, some of them just bring you complete agony. Energy were one of the bright spots for me, so I hope to see them do well. Like again, if this can go to like a quadruple overtime, like everybody's beasting out, but just North happened to be a little bit better today, I can be perfectly fine with that.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna lean the same way as you. Not a real surprise again. This is like a confident map for North.
Yeah. Not a bad map for Energy by any means, but
I mean it more in the sense of like we see what happens when North aren't on a comfortable map. They get absolutely stomped on Overpass. So now it's a good map for both teams, but I think it's safe to say that I would argue that North is the better team just on paper anyway, right? In terms of having better firepower, a better roster. Like, it's more kind of upcoming stars for NRG where you can't consistently rely on them. And not to say North are consistent by any means. Obviously, I'm not saying that. But in terms of like man to man, I think North match up better.
Yeah, pound for pound, you'd probably go with North almost any day. But the big thing with Energy is I'm worried about the fact that Mertz pretty much had a no-show for Overpass. Yes. Again, ops should be pretty prevalent on a map like Mirage, and Cirque has shown that he can definitely live up to the task really, and the build that he has to hold, right? So, and that hasn't really been the case for Mertz so far in this specific. He didn't have too much to do on Nuke. Had a couple of moments, I guess, in that sense, but not a whole lot happening there. The big story of Nuke really was North as a team and MSL as an individual playing really well. So I think that the deciding factor here could be, again, if you let Cirque run rampant, then how do you stop him if Mertz is not feeling it? If he's not getting into the game, if he's not able to get an op in his hands, I don't think you can rely enough. I think Cirque is too good of an op to reliably get picked off by rifles over and over again.
Yeah, and they just won the ninth round as well, so we're probably going to see CT side for NRG, which just adds further complications for North here in this third and final map of the best of 3. And again, like, this is a 0-1 match. We are going to see one of these teams going 0-2 and be a single game away from elimination here in StarSeries. So, you know, it would be a shame to see either of these teams, of course, go out in last place with a 0-3. But especially, I think, to North coming off the back of a tour win, looking good there, and
honestly,
then
first best of 3 they had yesterday versus Mousesports wasn't bad either.
Yeah.
Like, again, Mousesports, very, very, very good team, and there were definite opportunities for North to take both Dust2 and Mirage. So. Yeah. You know, if they end up by getting, you know, rough draws or energy, you know, finally hitting their stride and living up to, I guess, what you see as their potential from their online games and so on, then, or what they did in Sydney versus Astralis, for instance, then, you know, it's a rough time for North, because it's obviously not, like, you can make all the excuses or set the context as well as you want, but in the end, you're still going out of tournaments far too soon for a team of North's stature.
And then the flip side, of course, for NRG, you know, they've just come off the back of, I don't want to say disappointing, but like maybe
very rough
couple of events. Like Sydney, they got, you know, they've had good wins along the way, but they haven't had
games
placings.
And everything.
Yeah,
it's
exactly. Not been the placings that we need.
Yeah, the placings that's going to be really tough. Like breaking into, I guess, a worthwhile stand or like placing in these kind of tournaments is extremely tough. Obviously.
Yeah.
Just making it to playoffs, I think NRG can, for now, be happy about the fact that they're bringing, you know, their fight to a lot of these really, really, really top tier teams. Every now and again, obviously not consistently yet, but that is a step in the right direction as well. So I think that's still something they need to focus on. If they could, you know, go out of this tournament being 2-3, for instance, before they get knocked out,
that'd be great.
Still like a good tournament run for them. If they show good Counter-Strike, obviously.
Yeah, of course, right? Well, I feel like to go 2-3 in such a stacked event, you've got to show some good Counter-Strike, right? The chances you just get matched against like 2 bottom teams is pretty low. Like NRG have already had tough games. Liquid and North for the first 2 matches. It's not like you've had an easy start, right? Like you know, you look at like Navi, or I was about to say Navi up against Tyloo. That's a bad example because they lost. But Navi up against like Vici later.
That could also like mess things up, right? Like the fact that like NRG or whoever wins this could potentially face Navi.
Yeah, like
and the next match is like
upsets ruin it, but it does make it for an interesting story.
Oh, definitely, absolutely.
And of course, we are into this one, Vendetta. We are into the third map. North, T-side start, NRG picked their CT side and a triple B setup here. Pretty good defense. Fugly going to be opening up at the very least. The smokes are down for North. They've got the execute. I like this from NRG. They just run back because they've got the man advantage. They can play for the retake. And North, they're getting the bomb down. You can see how desperate North are trying to force these kills, trying to pull back the advantage that has been taken by the CT side. And they are finally going to be able to do it. Valdi striking onto Cirque. The CT starting to move in unison as well. But good trades coming in again from Valdi, only for him to be dropped. We're even Stevens here on the site in a 2v2, but the catch from Apps is going to be enough for AZ, and he may have just saved this round here for North.
Playing it so well, just be the most annoying man on the planet there for Breezy. That's going to give MSL a softened up target and a distracted Breezy to end the round. Very well done there by North, being able to hold off the retake. I think that I agree that it's the correct decision from NRG to just hold off and basically give up the bomb site. Fugly even gets the first frag. That's great. You can go for a retake 5v4. It's just that you don't have any utility to actually close the gap once you've let go of basically the catwalk area and have to re-engage from there. It becomes a really tough gig.
And when Valdi locks down both market players like that, even adds further complications, doesn't it? Not an easy round. And actually, NRG have done what North did on Overpass on their CT side after losing Pistol. They've actually ecoed. They've got Deagles, they've got PT50s, but they've not bought Kevlar, meaning their buy is going to be pretty good when it comes down to it. And of course, with North having a lot of SMGs, that's obviously great for making money here, but if they drag them forward into the buy round, we may see another bonus round from North.
Yeah. In any case, we're going to see an AWP in the hands of Cirque, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
Daps is going to be able to find one frag at least, but gets traded out. And Cirque wants to chip in as well, just secure 300 bucks back.
Ooh.
Ethan drops the bomb too, so 1v2. A lot of kills going the way of energy here, and more could be found. As you said, SMG is getting lost here. That's not really the big issue. The fact that Kevlar and so on is going down the drain for North is the damper on the situation. But they get the bomb plant down. And obviously no kit on Ethan either with the limited investment into the round.
Oh, they hear him.
Yeah, he's just going to hope to get a kill or potentially 2, right? Doesn't even need to hold on to a weapon. Obviously, that would be a great bonus, but I don't think he expects to come out of this alive. He just wants to be as annoying as possible for North.
Keep the money at bay.
Exactly.
Just means then eventually when NRG get to the rifle round, if they win it, North is straight reset, straight down to pistols, or at least you would expect a force. But
we saw kind of what kind of impact that had on Overpass, right? They were able to do that to a little bit, or a certain extent, to the point where Mertz in the first buy round that ended up happening wasn't able to rebuy into an op and everything. And Cirque was able to kind of get the upper hand of the game in that sense. Like NRG on their end went to double ops eventually, but North weren't able to really get one out on the field of their own.
The window stack for NRG, that's such a classic, but unfortunately for them, North have gone for the B rush. We are in Ukraine after all, they've taken control. The bomb is going to be pretty simply put down, and MSL dinked up. Just fall back, allow Kirby to make some money instead with his own SMG. Mertz even catching 1D there up against the pistols of the CT side.
Everybody's getting in on it.
Yeah, they're loving some kills.
Oh, Kirby. Is he going to get caught out? No. He's got a buddy. He's watching his back. Depps is not going to be able to have any sort of fun. And Fugly, I don't know, might be the most hopeful man in Europe right now if he's expecting people to come barging after him.
He has got armor though, so he kind of probably wants to hold on to this.
Yeah. That's actually a very good call. Didn't notice that.
I don't know why he has armor.
It is kind of odd because everyone else had a clean eco except for an HE.
I feel like that's a mistake.
Well, if he survives, it doesn't really matter at all. He's going to be able to buy his rifle as we go further. So, fortunate for him. And here we go. Very healthy buy for NRG coming into the first buy round. Zerk with that op in his hands. Doesn't even have to go glass cannon.
It's a P250 paying off.
Fugly actually opting to get double flash and HE instead of a Molotov.
What side does Fugly play? What side does Fugly play? B?
Well, Fugly is moving towards the A side right now. So I guess on A, it's dependent on like how, you probably want that second flash to either be able to re-engage or, exactly do this in mid.
For like retakes, right? If they go for the like wall of smoke off jungle and stairs, he can easily flash his teammates in through CT, for example.
Yeah, and actually using Molotovs on the A side is pretty tough to do, like to deny plants. And Ethan is having no issues denying entry from north into the bomb site. Fugly is going to chip in with 2 as well. Mertz potentially getting I guess gives up on the A bomb site. That career path has been ended. It's on 16 HP as well, and probably been given the information that he is tagged up.
And it's awkward as well because he probably wants to save, but it's so
much time
early
left
in the round. Yeah, NRG have all the time to get control. Daps is already in the T-spawn. He's begun to push. Mertz has to go for a fight here. He has to try and get a kill at the very least.
Just waiting at an angle right now. They've already wrapped around. You can see Daps on the radar. He's already moved through T-spawn, so they know they've got him locked in. And right now, there's really nowhere for Mertz to go. Daps is going to clear out the T-pit area here, and as soon as that is cleared out, like he did just now, he's going to move in towards T-apps, and it's just a matter of time before Mertz dies. The problem here, though, if NRG plays this smartly, they could just sit out and wait the next 20 seconds and actually just kill him after the time, because they know where he is at this point. They know exactly where he is at the map, and you can tell, They're setting up close positions. They know exactly where he is. They're just going to wait out time and then kill him after. And this is a terrible decision for, not a terrible situation for Mertz. He actually needs to run out on the site and die. There we go. Eventually, it gets to him.
That is annoying, but they actually secure the double orb here. Fugly and Cirque both going to have those at least to play with. I imagine Ethan's going to be dropped over maybe an orb. But a good start for NRG at the very least.
Ethan was the one to use the op at least on Overpass in addition to Cirque. I'm not really that big of a fan of double ops on Mirage here. Again, Fugly's playing that A-bomb site. 99% of the time, whenever a T-side moves towards A, it's going to be off of a bunch of smokes, and it's going to negate the op heavily. He's actually going to go for the mid-peek, though, with the spawn he had. Instead, it's going to be Cirque falling. Does tag up Mertz, but not able to get the kill. So the role reversal kind of works out though for NRG, but Kirby has just moved up. Casually strolling into that A-bomb site. Takes down Ethan. Might be able to get a bomb plant here. No cover from spawn, though.
Yeah, he had the bomb when he pushed into the site. If he went down there, that's a massive mistake, and that's North potentially losing the round. I mean, that still may happen. Daps has found a double from the spawn, and now the retake is on. Although he is low, so is Mertz. North just trying to hold on. Mertz, good angle, going to be able to catch one off guard, but again, he's so tagged up. Take the next gunfight, try and take the next engagement and peek out. He does not spot Fugly, but he does spot Breezy, and both kills from AZ, locking it down. And North, they find the reset to NRG. Heavy investment from the CT side, and it's all gone out the window.
But it's not exactly by the book, though, for North. Very curious to see Kirby committing to the plant with no cover. Yeah. Whether that's Kirby jumping the gun or someone else not paying attention, yet to be seen. But obviously, we would either have a smoke down there or somebody playing from the noob corner, really, to just give him some sort of hope of surviving.
Yeah.
And that could have very easily gone astray. As you said, Mertz was so low on HP. If that Molotov that they threw down towards the pit area, is meant for either is an HE or gets sent towards Tetris, then that's just the end of Mertz. Because even if he has some time before the Molotov just full damage and actually is fully bloomed, it's still going to do tick damage that will kill him at 17 HP. So, yeah. Risky situation, risky business, but they do make it work, and that does put NRG on a bit of a back foot. They, as you said, committed to a double op right off the bat. So that's going to be the game plan for now. It's going to be an expensive CT side, that's for sure, and they're not going to have too many weapon runs, really.
Double 50-50, Deagle. Probably a 5th round for North without too much hassle here. They hold the top and middle. Again, the bomb going up first. Flash will assist MSL in getting that frag, and they're going to be at least containing it for now. Ooh, a bit dangerous. Daps does drop one.
Nicely controlled by Valdo, though. Like, I think very easy in that kind of situation to just hold mouse one and just pray to the higher powers that things are going to work out. Instead, just secures 3 kills for himself. So, all things considered, an easy enough round for North, taking 2 heavy losses, and we're finally going to see an op again in the hands of Zerk. I'm actually curious about how the spawn rotation is for NRG. If Zerk has gotten really unlucky, he just has a really bad mid spawn every single round, which is makes it pretty much impossible to actually take the mid peak. Again, if Mertz has a decent enough peak, or decent enough spawn, then he's going to get to almost before Cirque at any given time. So you can see, Cirque's moving about. He's not necessarily sticking to mid here a lot.
Ooh, but up in the apartments here. We're getting up close. Daps in the window. Cirque going to make the jump. Mertz, good timing. He hears the footsteps. He goes for the peak. And that's a man advantage taken for North. Although the nade does do some damage, they can split up short pretty quickly. Kirby's locked down the connector, so they don't have any fear about getting killed on the cross, and the smoke is down to allow MSL to take control. Both players on the site, though, here for NRG, but not for long, because Valdi's already dropped Breezy up on the back of the site there, and Daps is now alone. They already know he's here. They saw him early in the round, and Valdi can just clean him up. Rotation from Ethan drops the bomb, but at this point, it's a null and void. He's in a 1v4. Almost impossible to win this one out with the flank coming through, and it won't even matter. Mertz has the cross covered, and North, another rifle round going their way, and with 4 alive as well, that's pretty successful for North. We have NRG, no real money to work with, and again, yeah, they have loss bonus, but grit your teeth and give away another round.
Yeah. Well, North just continuing on the same track as they did versus Mouse Sports, had an excellent T-side in that scenario as well, and we know how good Mouse Sports usually are on Mirage. A lot of us talk about them as the best Mirage.
I don't think anymore.
Yeah, no, maybe not anymore. They've had a rough couple of, I think the last 4 matches or something they've had on Mirage has been pretty rough, but before that, hailed to be potentially the best Mirage team in the world, and North just pounced them completely, something like 60-7.
Ooh, Daps. Somehow going to find one, I'm sure.
Yeah, still gives enough space for his teammates to get in there. Easy is the beneficiary of 2 easy kills. Valder's going to chip in as well. And all falling like flies all over the place, NRG. Again, was Inikos, to be expected. You can tell, like, MSL is always first man in there. He's no fear. Doesn't lead him to get a lot of kills on the board, but it does create so much space for everyone else.
MSL's the kind of guy you want on your matchmaking team, but you never get.
Definitely. No. You get everyone else.
I'd love him to just like run into sites.
Like, guys, I'm gonna jump out here and you guys kill him after.
Yeah, right.
Words never uttered by any MM player ever.
No, I mean words don't really get uttered in matchmaking.
No, but more like obscenities.
Yeah,
shouting.
Well, flame.
Yeah. Well, Cirque gets the AWP in his hands for a 3rd time. Still not going towards mid through window though. It's probably due to the heavy smoke usage of North, but at least North doing such a good job. This is one of the things when North were one of the better teams on Mirage, they were just so consistent about how they would approach taking mid control, like from point A to point Z, pretty much. Like they just had a plan for every move in every situation. Like when they got this far into mid, they would do this, this, and this. Basically, like set each other up with pop flashes to clear out connector, followed up by smoke on catwalk, and then hide the one player into the cubby and connector as a bit of a lurk or one to break a connector, break any rotations like Kirby is doing now.
Oh, that's the bomb again. MSL running in first with that, and Breezy, he'll be pretty happy with that double kill. Fakes the vent pop, but he's not going to drop because he still holds onto his position, and Kirby makes it so he's locked him in. They don't actually know he's still here because in theory he could have dropped in through the vents when the smoke was down, but there we go, gives away his position. As they start to surround him, it shouldn't be too much of a problem considering Daps is up on short now for a bit of support. Mertz is here with the AWP.
Daps doesn't really have an angle actually to hold off Mertz if Mertz sneaks by. Obviously that's really, really risky.
But Ethan does, or he did. Mertz forces him off the angle, and you don't want to repeat that if you're Ethan. Wait for Daps to make contact, and there is the contact, but Kirby does take him down. Breezy with a rampant pre-fire, a bit early as well. Hoping for a shadow.
Yeah, I was hoping for the quicker movement in, but Circus gotten into position, but Kirby's still doing work here.
What? One by one?
Yeah, and AZ's been all the way over towards the A bomb side. Found the early pick on Fugly, which kind of fumbled the defensive energy, but he's so far away.
No time.
Bombs dropped, yeah. He's not going to be able to make it. At least he dies before the time runs out. Circus gets an easy kill. Definitely need some cuddling after that one.
Yeah, that is a weird-ass round. I guess the early push from Kirby was because of the time, right? At least he knew you need to get on that bomb and get it to the site. I missed that one.
Yeah, they needed to get a move on because they get so staggered with the bomb dropping inside of ladder room. Breezy doing an excellent job, even though it doesn't get an additional kill after the two first ones. He just stays alive for so long.
Yeah.
He doesn't commit to any angle. He's just running back and forth, popping off shots, so nobody can really feel safe about going into an angle on him, especially with the setup they have with Ethan and Daps on catwalk and A site.
But you got to give props to North for actually being able to almost regain control of that round, considering you had the crossfire,
advantage eventually,
right?
yeah.
Very worrying at one point for NRG, considering how much damage Breezy did. And now we're talking about damage with the MP9s close in B. One in the underpass, that's Ethan. May catch a timing. He didn't quite see him there, so Ethan's going to be able to move up on the flank. Nade's going in for North, and the site control already taken, but Daps is going to peek out wide. There's a fight, and he does win it as well. Cirque doing damage to the AWP, and this long wrap should be coming in about now. Ethan's going to strike, and he does at least catch out one with the AWP as well, chiming in for a second. There'll be NRG on their third.
Yeah, stringing a couple of rounds together here, and they pick up a second AWP as well. Didn't work out too well the first time around. Let's see what comes of it, though. It does seem like it's Fugly to have the better mid-spawn every single time. Yeah, it seems like Circus is at a bit of a rough spot in that sense. Yeah, it's Daps, actually, who's going to wheel the AWP towards B this time. So changing things up.
I like the ability to constantly switch up that secondary.
Yeah.
If you don't have like a really consistent, strong secondary, or just swap it between positions, it makes a lot of sense. Daps is going to be able to lock it down as well.
Pays off in a big way. MSL's already down on the side, but he's going to be greeted by Fugly, and already NRG putting the chokehold on B. And that just forces the rest of North away. They realize that's a lost battle. Forced a lot of rotations, at least. 4 players still over on that B bomb side, but with the lack of pressure being put on, you can see the rotations coming back already.
The big issue here for North is, even though NRG only have 2 players on the site, North have 1 Molotov left. So
it's going to be the golden Molotov.
Exactly, right? When they commit to this, they don't have any chance of smoking off jungle or anything. They're open to short, they're open to CT, and yeah, that's great. This is good. They're almost playing retake with Fugly, just spotting. Damage done, but he's going to fall off the angle. Nades can start to come in for NRG, and they can just flash their way into these aim battles, flash their way into the duels, because they shouldn't be too scared of taking them. There's no smokes, as we said. And there's an open season for Breezy, who misses the shot, and a bit of a whiff there has given North another opportunity. Mertz wall banged out as the bomb plant comes in. He was already low from that spray from Breezy, so at least coming back to haunt him.
Okay, I like what Daps is doing, though. He's committing to catwalk. He's expecting someone from North to make the rotation around, or seems like it for the longest of time, and I think that's a smart move. You see so many teams do this often now. Mouse Sports especially with the bomb plant down there. Ooh, probably expects Valdi to be the last, or being the rotation, but they know that AZ has the position. They've smoked it off already, and this diffuse is incoming. Very well played by NRG there, having the presence of mind to realize that in a situation like this, North doesn't really have too many options to go with, considering that they're at a significant disadvantage. They'll have to do something funky, get into a position from where they can get multiple kills. You know, preferably, you know, getting the guy who's defusing and obviously one of the players trying to protect them. But yeah, that's just really has an understanding like how most of the pro teams actually approach after plant positions in that kind of scenario.
Especially when, because NRG was so stacked up on B early in the round, they actually forfeited a lot of map control. They didn't have anything towards A, they didn't have anything towards top mid, for example. Whereas, you know, maybe if that was just a standard A take from North and they went straight onto the site, you would have had NRG with a fast like B apps rotation or a aggressive mid player to push through the flank, and you would have at least had the info. Okay, they're not wrapping mid, they're committing, they're playing ramp and palace. But because NRG had no information, then yeah, of course you have to expect that flank through middle. So good work on Daps for doing that, as you said, but only going to get one. However, it doesn't matter. They win the round, 4-7.
He gets Valda and he gets the information as well, right, as to where AZ is. You could see they already put down the smoke because they saw that was pretty much the only opportunity North really had to win out the round. They grab a 4th round, still maintain an off. They do lose the double op setup here, but I think that's okay.
Awkward nade.
Doesn't really pan out. Doesn't take any damage himself, though, at least.
Yeah, they weren't pushed out into mid anyway, so it wouldn't have done anything.
Yeah, and for now, a bit of a different take on a setup once again. It's going to be Cirque pretty much holding down A by his lonesome, and you've got one player in ladder room and one on catwalk.
Fugly's tasked with watching this connector, so things are going to be difficult considering they don't actually have the info how many T's are here. There's a smoke down. Breezy can't fully commit. Fugly has to, and he sprays and prays, but only gets one. Now it's the AWP and the CT spawn that needs to step up. There's Cirque. He shows contact, but the trade is instant for North. The control over the site is taken, and a 3-on-2 here for the T side. Dabs has the angle, does spot AZ. The issue is AZ has window on the lockdown, so they can actually go for the open plant again. And considering we have a man in the middle, that's Mert. He might be able to keep this round alive, but he's getting overwhelmed. Does get a shot right before he passes, and now it is AZ again on that long wrap in the 1v1. And because it's Ethan alone, AZ has the time to wrap, but he's not going to go for it.
He does have a smoke now on Ethan. Just drop that on the bomb, tap it. Oh, he's just going to go for the early peek. Gives away his position, though, but puts Ethan under so much pressure.
He's so low. He can
he doesn't have a defuse kit.
Yeah. That was nice. That was well played from AZ. I think the long wrap would have been a bit of a mistake in the 1v1.
In a 1v1, that's too risky.
They can just jump on the bomb at any point.
Exactly. And obviously he can't tell from a distance whether or not Ethan has a defuse kit. It's very likely that he could have picked up a defuse kit even if it didn't buy one. So that's a bit of a rough go, but yeah, North make the most out of it. I think the positioning, I thought the setup initially would have been much better for NRG, but Breezy extremely passive in as to how he held down short, not necessarily making any decisions off of the back of North smoking off connector and so on. And same thing with Ethan as well. It gets smoked off in ladder room, but doesn't really move out of it. Maybe they're expecting a boost up into mid window, but it's still just like an inactive player in that entire defense. So instead of being able to put a pincer on it and actually help out Fugly, or at least stem the tide, make them focus on different directions, this Cirque potentially could get more peeks in. They just completely take themselves out of the round, and that makes it so much easier for North to actually get onto that bomb site.
Oh yeah, North certainly looking a lot more confident in this third map than the previous of Overpass. 8 rounds so far on the T side, and the opportunity to find even more. With a bye week from NRG, limitations, CZ, Deagle, you name it. They are really hoping for a miracle here. North, fast into middle as well. Flash to the connector and a smoke in the window to cover off any kind of mid-peak. Breezy going to get caught, but he does actually get out with a frag. Trade is in, but to be honest, that's good for Breezy. A 1-for-1 when you have a CZ. Certainly a good trade.
Take that any 8. So far, they've been able to evade the scout of Zerk. He hasn't really moved a whole lot, just pretty passive over towards that A bomb site. When you're playing slow, right, there's always the danger of running into a scout that just constantly gets pot shots off of you. Makes the lesser weaponry on the other on the other CTs so much more dangerous. Instead of having to fire off potentially 3 bullets of a Deagle into someone, it's enough with 1. And Daps is going to go down, but Cirque gets the response pretty early on. But positioning is not in favor of NRG. The B bomb site is going to be completely open. Bomb's going to go down. Rotations are decently early, but they're all coming through kitchen, so it's going to be a real tough one. They do have utility to work with here, but so does North.
Yeah, this Molotov can just signal the end of the round. If that landed, though, it doesn't. It rebounds off the top of the window. So now NRG have a chance. If that landed, maybe they would just forfeit the round because they didn't want to push through it. But they can give this a go. Nice shot from Ethan to start things off with a bit of a shoulder peek into the site. Mert spotted as well. AZ forces the 1v1, and he is just trying to make this difficult. Try and waste the time of NRG. Mert also makes contact from short. With the open plant in favor of him, Fugly's got to duck, dive, and run the hell away because this is North's round all over the board. 9 up for the T side. A valiant attempt from NRG considering that buy was pretty weak, but it's not going to be enough.
Doesn't Fugly. Is he going to make it? No. AZ just so adamant about chasing down that. It's a big loss for NRG as well as they forced into that round. So that's Kevlar gone as well. UMP not the greatest loss in the world, but it's the utility and the armor he had on himself that could have been very nice to bring into the next round. Well, North firmly getting a grasp of this game. Very good T-half so far.
Yeah, and I mean, even if it ends here, that's the thing. They'll still be happy with that. A 9-6er is a pretty good half, but there's still a couple more opportunities for them to only extend this. Maybe an 11-4 like we saw on Nuke.
Yeah, similar to what they had versus Mousesports as well. And they showcased that their CT side is capable enough as well to close it out versus a team like Mousesports. So definitely the case versus a team like NRG as well. Breezy, I'm kind of disappointed. I was expecting more out of him coming into this best of 3. Had a decent overpass, but not really being able to get into the thick of things on Mirage here. And he plays a pretty central part of the map as well, that catwalk area. Obviously, if you're able to have a good game there, they could shut down so much that the T's want to have, or, you know, free roam of the mid area. If you're a constant nuisance picking people off, running into connector, you know, that changes the entire game plan that North has to put up. That's not been the case. Instead, North are just running wild here. The lone defender on a down already. Cirque is going to fall suit. MSL just out for blood right now. Probably won't expect Breeze. Breezy finds 1 kill at least to his name, but it's going to run into the op of Mertz.
Yeah, this is a clean sweep for North, it seems. 10 rounds on the board. A late play into middle here for Kiebi as well, and he may even be able to catch the man in apps. That's Fugly, as Dap sits at the top of middle as well. Unlikely Fugly will be pushing underpass in this spot, but if Kiebi keeps on his track, he should be in the back line. Again, he's even got a teammate in the T-spawn, so it's like NRG are penned into this position. There's Kirby at least making contact, and that forces Valid to go out because he's confident for the fight, but Daps trades it back. At least that gun is irretrievable because of Kirby's position, and he maybe expects Daps to be far more aggressive than he is. Doesn't seem to matter. Gets the kill anyway. North, another round on this T side, and yeah, they really are off to a hell of a half right now. NRG spent their money, and now they've got to spend it again. They've got no opportunity. 15 rounds and 2,400 to play with. I mean, this is your jumble sale bile all over.
Yeah, this is not what you want to finish off the first half with if you're NRG. Not really able to get into it, and yeah, a bit of an unnecessary buy towards the end there instead of trying to get proper weaponry. They hope for a Hail Mary to get them back into the game, but that's not going to be the case. So North looking very likely to finish this first half with 11 rounds. Again, now just setting up very passively. Cookie cutter setup. Just fend off any potential aggression, doing their due diligence, splashing in Kirby to the underpass, and there the aggression comes into top mid. Mertz is ready and waiting. Man advantage lies with the Danes.
Yeah, no real tough task to take that either. 3 players up on the A site for NRG. Although not for long, Cirque's begun his rotation down towards market. So yeah, this just makes things even more difficult now for the CT side. Luckily enough, he does move back in. Oh, sorry, no, he doesn't. I thought he was on... Yeah, no, he was boosting up on B, okay. Daps is up in the back box, but it won't make a difference because North are going for the Molotov setup, heavy utility usage. There's a smoke down on ramp, but Ethan hides behind, but they don't give a damn. They shoot through it, and now they can just burst. So much gunfire and a complete firing line to the site means North are now in control of this round. And this should not be any problem to close that out either. They haven't got some late lurk through middle, but I don't think they're going to need it. NRG are just unequipped completely to deal with this play. And 3 men moving up through the CT spawn. North can just continue cycling utility or just take gunfights. That works too.
Kirby and AZ going to close out the first half. 11-4 for North. Very solid showing on their T side. Again, pretty much being given the liberty of doing whatever they wanted for the better part of it. We didn't really see too much aggression coming out from the CT side of NRG on buy rounds and that kind of stuff. A lot of uninterrupted strategies being allowed to execute on the side of North.
A lot of faster plays though from North. That's the difference, right? I feel like if North are playing more slow defaults, it will give time for NRG to take some map control. But if you think about that, North just went for a load of really fast contact B plays, some really quick short splits. That round was just to run out onto the A site. I wouldn't say they gave NRG a lot of time to set up and play those slow rounds. That half went by pretty quick.
It really did, actually. And as you mentioned, they kind of just set the tone of the game very early on with focusing heavily on that B bomb side, whether it was splitting through mid or just straight up B apps pushes, and it worked out really well for them. So when they eventually went back to something slower, a couple of rounds where you see the default mid control takes, etc., you have heavy focus. You have 3 players, or more or less 3 players towards the B bomb side. You have one guy playing from catwalk, one ladder room, and one over towards the B apps, but they're not really in a position to actually help out either Zerk or Fugly towards connector or A.
Well, both teams here have been trading pistols throughout the series, so let's see who finds the final one. P250 on Fugly. And smoke outside of the jungle is going to be NRG hitting the face side through the connector. There's a kill from Fugly. It's Mertz overwhelmed in the window, going very aggressive. And Valdi has to pick up the pieces, and he does with one, but now they've split back up short. They've baked it out. They've completely baited North into a rotation towards the A site, leaving just one man on B. The one man is all they need. Kier B, with his shots, eventually going down, leaving Valdi alone on the site. But again, it's just North winning so many duels here. Only Dap's alive now in a 1v2, and Valdi's already had him spotted, and he takes his number 2.
Yeah, MSL and Kirby doing a really good job there, as basically the fake has been sold, the rotation has been made by North. If they were to drop those players over on catwalk, it's a pretty ugly situation for North, having to attempt to retake, obviously with the bomb down, and NRG in potentially pretty good afterplan positions. Not going to be the case, and for the first time we don't trade pistol rounds. North getting away with both of them, and that puts NRG in a really, really rough spot.
Yeah, not only down in rounds, but now here's when the pain train comes to play. A couple of free rounds for North, unless NRG can surprise us. That would be a 14-4 when rifles come in for the T side.
Yeah,
there is nothing less motivating than that. So, NRG, they look for anything they can get here. North not the best equipped in terms of rifles, right? They only have a FAMAS and an M4 alongside a Scout. Like, it's a mixed buy. It definitely means there's a chance here for NRG, but they don't know that. They don't know what North is showing.
Yeah, you could also tell that the few SMGs they have are playing pretty close positions. AZ's playing from Shadow right now, or on top of balcony. So he's equipped enough, I guess, in that sense. He's playing his position correctly according to what he has in his inventory. And you can see the most active players is being Valde and Kierby, really. For right now, though, NRG just trying to poke and prod, see if there's anything that gives on the side of North, if they want to go aggressive and maybe give up an easy kill. That's not going to be the case, though. Slow and steady wins the race for the CT side in this scenario, and time is starting to tick down a bit, and well, we can see a bit of a B split here potentially.
Yeah, players in the apps hints towards that, but they've got to get past the first line of defense, and that's Kierby as he takes the first and the second. The bomb is in the apps at the very least, but with the smoke down, it just delays these players even further. After having seen 2 guys up on short, they just know this is a B play. Look, North have fully rotated. 4 out of 5 players on the site. Kierby finds his 3rd kill. It's actually Mertz, sorry, to steal it away. Doesn't seem to make a difference, so there's enough players on the site to finish off NRG. 13-4. The force buy goes nowhere. Now it is just the full eco. This is a horrible round at this scoreline to play, but they've got to do it.
Yeah, just have to take it at this point. Hope that the first and potentially only buy round we're going to see in this half is going to be a good one. And for North, no real reason in reinvesting too heavily. AZ still sticking with that MP9. They know they're going up against a clean eco. Mertz might be the one to be the beneficiary of all this. Pushes into mid, finds one kill, Boulder's going to chip in, and now the cavalry is coming in. Well, he does find Mertz as he is eager to find some frags, but in the end it's only a 1-man loss on the side of North, and they've done well enough during their anti-ecos to have a full buy coming into the first buy round.
This is so much more of a stomp than I was expecting. This is where NRG need to try and pull something back. Show that at least they're here on Mirage or awake.
Yeah, they got toyed with on their CT side, and that was pretty much where they had to do the brunt work of the the brunt of the work really to have a fighting chance in this. North just showing a very good side of themselves now, continuing on that good form that we saw versus Mousesports yesterday.
Oh, AZ, how does he get a kill there? So many players in position. Breezy trades, now they go for the fast A play, but Mertz is still alive and kicking he does into the chest of Daps. NRG not even past the Tetris.
Already low on HP as well. And you can see the rotation coming in from Kirby. Mertz try to stay alive, a bit of a wide peak there, and that's going to give the opportunity for NRG to get a couple of kills there. Ethan wins out the duel with MSL and Spawn as well, but they have no idea that Kirby's coming.
Oh, they line up for him. He finds two. Kirby might be able to do this on his own. It's only Breezy, but the HP works out well for him. He's got the advantageous position as Kirby mollies in, gets aggressive, jumps up on the Tetris.
Oh, he's lost track of where Breezy is, though.
And no kit.
He's going to have to be quick about it. Picks up an AK, though. A bit more punch to his power right now. Taps the bomb, and, well, Breezy's not going to commit to us. So playing it passively, playing it safe, and that's just going to win him out completely.
Nice play for Breezy. No commitment to fights, just jump spotting, getting info, and just knows that Kirby's not on the bomb. He was too busy checking jungle.
Yeah. Well, and unfortunate for Kirby, though, after, solid task to find the 2 first frag, the fact that he loses track of where Breezy is towards the tail end of it. If he's committed, like if he has the drop on Breezy in that sense that he knows he's towards stairs, then that changes up his approach to it entirely. But the fact that he drops the smoke and the Molotov just kind of disorients him long enough to doubt himself. Here we go. A much needed run for NRG, but they need to keep this up. They can't make any mistakes.
Yeah, the big issue here for me is if North find this round, because NRG only have 1 player alive, they get reset as well, and reset at map and match point. So they will still be able to buy somewhat, but it just won't be great.
Yeah. So especially the utility is going to be down the drain.
Exactly right. They need to start to get a couple of rounds here to give them something in terms of an insurance policy or an AWP. That'd be nice to see, because again, Cirque's been fairly silent here. But again, when you get stomped like this, it's so difficult to pull in the AWP. At least economically.
Yeah. North did a really good job, honestly, on their T side as well as just negating most of the typical op spots as well. You could see mid was just constantly being smoked off, regardless of what North wanted to do.
And Cirque didn't really have many mid spawns as well. We talked about that in the early game. He was going towards connector a lot and not really finding opening kills. Well, Breezy's opened up, and he hears the tag. Surely, Mertz going to make some noise. A little squeal, maybe. Molotov down on the connector. And NRG, they're waiting for it. They're ready for the flashbang. They're ready for the play. But Mertz still gets a kill. Trade is found for Breezy, and he is low in the process. But Ethan, luckily, relieves some pressure with a big entry kill. The flash in from Valdi allows him to get 1, but no more than that. And it's MSL alone with only a UMP. That gun is not going to work out.
Finds Fugly, though.
Somehow.
A bit of a happy accident, but yeah, in the end, NRG are going to survive this scare with 2 players alive. But again, it's just such a big mountain to climb at this point.
Yeah, you don't feel it's real until they really get to like 10, 11 rounds. I'm not even considering this until they show me.
Yeah.
It's so hard to be a believer.
We have seen it once already, though, with VP-HGO, but that felt like a very different game in that sense. I felt like HGO had a bit more of a fighting chance. And also, they were able to kind of unleash Snatchy as well, and we haven't really been able to see Cirque get to that point yet.
There's still time.
There is still time, but it's starting to run out. Valda going aggressive, gets picked off by Ethan. So the quick backstep's not going to happen, and the B bomb site has just been completely vacated during this eco. So bomb plant's going to go down for NRG, and well, any hopes of a retake is pretty much moot. Merch having a bit of a deal with the Daps here, not going to come out victorious out of that one. Does significant damage, so might have softened him up enough for AZ to get a frag here, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter a whole lot. And it seems like Daps is aware of the fact that AZ might be on the rotation.
This flawless round, though, from NRG is pretty important because it means that eventually when North do get 15, we're going to have actually a real buy in response for NRG. And that's good for more than one reason. Not only will they be able to continue to buy, but if North win a round and NRG break them back straight away, it resets North as well. So NRG get a further 2 rounds, which means this comeback actually is a lot more doable.
Yeah. So we saw most of North sitting around like 4.5, 4.6K here in this situation. I think the tactical boss is kind of debating whether or not they want to buy into this. Again, they're not going to have an op, if my eyes didn't deceive me.
Yeah.
But I think it's reasonable enough, considering you have such a big cushion to do a double eco in this situation. Make sure that you can just get a proper buy with all the utility you could ever want, an op if that is deemed necessary, and just take it from there, because you don't want to get into a situation where you force buy and do silly things to the point where you've made the game a whole lot harder for yourself. And they're not going to go for a clean eco, but again, just not investing a whole ton.
Yeah, they don't need to go for a clean eco. You may as well put money into here, at least a little bit. Of course, it will slightly dig into the next round funds, but not by a huge margin.
Yeah, it should still be perfectly fine to get a full buy, and well, BRS is coming in. MSL manages to find dabs. Dabs pounces a little bit before the flash pops, and they're actually getting pretty decent trades here.
Yeah, 1-for-1s in this kind of round are really, really good for North. The issue is it's not consistent, right? I say that. I thought
they bring it back.
Yeah, I thought he was going to lock down mid at least. Now, no. North have got an opportunity. No kit. So that bomb plant is a big, big issue here for North now. AZ waits for his teammate to get into position before he goes for the retake, but with Fugly already posted towards the apartments, Kiebi's position is going to be countered, and there he goes. Only AZ left up. May as well give it a shot because he's got a buy coming up next round regardless. Cirque spotted, damage done, but more so to AZ as he tries to close the distance and force the kill. He does actually manage to get the frag, but this round still should not be possible.
Yeah, Fugly put on the Molotov as a bit of insurance policy, and he's probably going to be able to find AZ here before he runs out. There we go. But considering the investment, excellent round from North, managing to whittle down energy to one player. Again, economy isn't really going to have too much of an impact at this point. Energy have won enough rounds to the point where they will be able to rebuy in any sort of situation when North finally gets that 15th round and put themselves on match point. But again, if nothing else, it does wonders for your confidence to feel like you're getting that close as well, just without any sort of investment as well. So now that you see a full buy on the side of North, this could very well be where they do it, and they boost up Mertz.
Uh-oh, look at the pace though. They're already up short. Oh, they have no idea. They spot the barrel of the rifle. Oh, the walk around for Breezy. That's dangerous. You get what you're expecting right there, and Mertz got stuck on it. I don't.
Oh, he could move up because the flames were also going up on the ladder and Valde. Oh, he's going to find dabs with Fugly's quick to trade, but this is just full-on chaos in mid. Everybody is getting shot from everywhere.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a shot from Fugly from Connect. I thought he one-tapped the player on the site. It was actually Ethan coming out of Palace, so don't worry.
Yeah, but Ethan's still all by his lonesome, though. Bomb strapped over towards B-Apps. She's going to go on a bit of a retrieval mission. MSL and Kirby, though, in this kind of scenario, probably just stick together. It doesn't really matter if you allow Energy to plant or Ethan to plant in this kind of a round. Again, money doesn't really have too much of an impact. All you want to do if you're North is give the opportunity to get a trade in.
And he's so scared that someone's already found this bomb, but now he's going to make noise, peek into the double play. The aggression works out wonderfully for North. And 15 rounds have been finally taken. NRG grinded back a couple here, but here's where the money comes back to haunt them, right? Yeah, we have players that can drop over, but only just. There's no AWP as well. Galil on Breezy. I mean, this is the damage done by North coming into play.
That 4K round, or the previous round where they got 4 kills, is going to put Breezy on a Galil instead of an AK. But they do have pretty much all the utility they could want. 4 Molotovs, 5 smokes, and a whole bunch of flashes in addition to that. So they still pretty much have every avenue open to them. But it's going to be a rough take on this. It's going to be tough to do. North has been playing very, very, very well on Mirage.
I mean, you can see how desperate North were to win that round. They were going so aggressive to middle, looking to just force fights, take early kills, and not... that's not happy. And not really give breathing room to NRG, right? You could see how aggressive they were up on short. Mertz not only taking that kill, but also Kirby taking the fight as well. And hey, it works out at the end of the day. Mertz annoyed, but now he looks happy. And of course, that's because they're 1 round away from winning this best-of-3 series. Took them all the way to the 3rd map, but North looking to do it here and now before NRG find their grind back into play. Oh, that's not the first time we've seen that.
Nading is hard.
Yeah.
Dabs is going to get aggressive towards B-Apps. He has 2 players behind him as well. Needs to back off for a little bit, though, as the Molotov comes out. For now, though, majority of energy posted up towards B here, and they're just going to go, actually. Full-on contact play. It's not going to pan out well, though. MSL, Kirby finding one of their own. Probably response finally, though, but MSL is in the trenches to clean things up. Bombs dropped. commits down into the side. He's actually going around from short here to find one frag, but a 1v3 situation with Ethan as the lone survivor, and he's going to go down. And that secures it for North. 16-8. North turning things around after pretty dominant showing from NRG on Overpass, but they close out the round, or close out the series in style.
Yeah, no close maps here in this best of 3. All 3 of them pretty dominant, things considered.
Yeah.
That was the closest one we had already this morning. That didn't really feel like NRG were ever really finding their form up to the performance we know they can have, especially after that Overpass game, where we saw how signal they could. All the stars were aligning, and this team were hitting their shots with Fugly and Cirque going off of that AWP, and just never really felt like NRG were ready for that final round. But North certainly came, at least with their punches, and now at least showing that, yes, okay, arguably could have won yesterday's game. This one's not going to be a problem.
That was, again, if you're one of the people who've been rooting for North for quite some time, you're happy to see the fact that they're not getting necessarily flustered by the fact that they lose Overpass in that kind of a dominating fashion. They managed to bring it back, and they actually play well. It's not like they luck their way into win on Mirage as well. They were definitely in control of the entire map, and that's a good sign going forward, especially when you back that up with what they've shown in Tours, Cologne qualifiers, and also on the first day, even though it ended with a 2-1 loss to Mousesports.
Yeah, and that was such a heartbreaking 2-1 as well. Losing Dust 2 in overtime on a map that they really looked like they had, but if we all remember, Rops bringing it to OT with that ace. That was a lot of fun as well. Yeah, shame from North yesterday, but I'm glad they've come in today and they've not let it hurt them too much. They've shown that, okay, we had trouble on the first day, but we're back in control, we're back on form, and we're looking to find some victories here in Kiev. And we're going to go over to the stage of Parla to see whoever that is. Kierby, there.
Thank you, Hugo. And Vendetta, you are correct. I'm here with Kierby. Congratulations. 2-1. Are you satisfied?
I would say I'm pretty satisfied, first of all, with the win. That was really important. Generally, so far today and against Mousesports yesterday, I think we played pretty decently as a team. We can still play better, but we had a lot of good rounds as a team. Now we just need to step up more, all of us individually. At least I felt a bit off the first 2 games, so I'm going to go home and play a bit more. But the rest of the guys, we're just feeling really, really good about the win.
Why did you guys pick Nuke as your first map? Was it because MSL had, in mind, specific coordination for you guys?
Yeah, we were really prepared on Nuke. We saw some demos of them and how they played. And we think it's one of our best maps as well, so it was a pretty easy decision for us.
Okay, and overall then, how do you feel the skill level compared between your team and NRG?
It's hard to say. I would say I felt like we were the favorites, even though they've been really strong, especially online. No shots fired, but we thought they would play well, and they did on Overpass at least. But we felt as the favorites, and we prepared like against all other teams. So yeah.
Yeah, when I spoke to Ave, your coach, about these guys, he did say that he'd done a bit of research, but were they also, in a sense, slightly an unknown quantity for you?
Yeah, we have never played them before, and we never know. I think the playstyle depends a lot on how much confidence they have on the day, and I think they were struggling a bit on some of the maps. So yeah, it's hard to prepare against them. They're playing a really loose style, but I think we did really well.
Nonetheless, it was 3 maps, and on Overpass they had quite a strong victory. Do you know what you guys did wrong?
We're going to go back home and look at the demos, but I think we just played a bad game on that map, and we didn't stick to our plans and the way we usually play. It's one of our really good maps. We considered picking it as well, but we thought there was a chance they would do it. So yeah, it was really disappointing, especially after a big Nuke win, but we're going to go home and fix our mistakes.
All right, well, you are now 1-for-1 in our Swiss format, best of 3. And now that it's done, are you happy with that position? And are you feeling ready for the next steps, trying to get those 3 wins?
Yeah, I'm really happy with the position. It's really important to go 1-1. We could have won yesterday as well, to be honest, but bringing it back today is really important for us.
All right, congratulations, Marcus, and best of luck in the rest of the tournament. Let's head back to Vendetta and Hugo.
see a smile on his face at least. You know, not hurt too much over the loss of yesterday, which was a bit of a shame for North.
Yeah. No, if you're able to bring it back right after the day that follows, it's probably not going to sting as much, even though it was a close showing. And considering where they have been, they've seen lower lows than losing a narrow game to Mousesports, to put it that way. So I think they look at it more like, yeah, it's a tough loss to take, but it's still a step in the right direction for them. And they kind of show that that's the continuing trend as of right now with this game versus NRG.
Yeah, of course. Now with quite a few upsets happening yesterday, I'm sure the Swiss system is going to be met with some interesting games, some interesting matchups in terms of Na'Vi already down and in the lower bracket up against another Chinese team and stuff like that. So I feel like North definitely could get lucky in the sense of having some easier matchups and being able to climb their way out of this Swiss format. And I think that's a very good opportunity for them to actually get through and take those 3 victories.
They could also get unlucky and run into Na'Vi.
Exactly.
In that 1v1 matchup.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, that's the fun part of it, right? But again, it's still on Na'Vi to actually being able to beat Vici. We did see Vici almost 2-0 SK yesterday, so who knows? The Chinese teams have come in prepared, at least for round 1. It remains to see what they can bring to the table today. But overall, I think North are in a pretty good spot. I think they, considering what teams are potential for that 1-1 pool, they could do well.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how they carry on into this event. And, of course, NRG, who are 1 game away from elimination. We're going to be seeing more of them in the future. But next up, I'm pretty sure, is Hellraisers versus Renegades. Renegades with a shaky start yesterday, so I want to see if they can bounce back after that 6 rounds in 2 maps. Either way,